Hi, it's Linda with CreativePLR.com. I'm in Photopea. I used to be on Photoshop every waking moment. I love Photoshop. There's two big drawbacks to Photoshop. Well, there's more than two, but the two that I can think of, one is that it costs, I don't want to say an arm and a leg, at least an arm, and it's a recurring cost, so you can't just buy it outright. You have to pay for it monthly. As if that isn't bad enough, it has to be installed, or most of the time it's installed on your computer, and it takes up so much room on the computer. I mean, it really eats the memory. It's really hard to do anything else when you've got Photoshop on your computer. Now, you can use it online. You can do that. That works as well. So that's not maybe a complete drawback, but the beauty of Photopea is I don't have to download anything except my finished products. And I can do whatever I want, and Photopea is free. So it's a great option, and it has the same tools and the same menu that Photoshop did. So if you've used Photoshop in the past and you're just tired of paying that monthly fee, if you use Photopea, you don't have to switch to anything else. It's free, and it says the same menu, so there's no learning curve on that. So I went to Etsy, and I saw all of these really cute borders. And I love the scallops, smaller scallops, bigger scallops. I'm not quite sure what this is, but I like it. I like the lace ones as well, but maybe not for what I'm showing you today. But I do like them. And it, depending on which one you look at, they've got some where it's like, 100 different borders in a pack. Now, I'm not sure you need that many, but you can have a nice variety. And this is what we're going to do with them. So I bought some borders. And so I set up my canvas in Photopea by clicking on image. I went to canvas size and I put 8.5 by 11 inches. I'll size standard letter size paper, and if you don't use 8.5 by 11, if you want a 6 by 9 sheet, go for it. Put in whatever is going to work for you. I click OK. I went back to image and I wanted to make sure I had 300 DPI. So I did that. Now my canvas is all ready. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say File, Open in Place, and I'm going to open up this border file. And you see they have in JPEG. You don't want to use JPEG. They have it in Silhouette Studio. Don't want to use that one. SVG. Don't want to use that one. I want to use the good old Ping. And now we have a variety to look at. Now, the images that I'm using, I have this scallop and I have this kind of bubble scallop, and this one, I like that one. The images that I'm using are a little big, and so I'm going to click that. Now, I had said over here when I loaded it, open and place. So it placed it there, but I want to move it over to the edge because we're making borders, and I want it on the edge. Now, I like a little bit of the background showing because I want to make sure that I get the image that I'm going to place on top of it on the entire template. And this is what the border is. I'm going to click this little check mark here to confirm that's what I want to do. Now I'm going to move that layer up. My border's on the bottom now. See, I can turn it off and turn it on again. I'm going to do exactly what I did before. I'm going to go over here and say File, Open and Place. And instead of going to the borders, I'm going to go over here to some Halloween paper. Now, this is paper that I've made. It's not necessarily perfect for this, but it's good enough. So I've got this paper, and now you see, you don't see the border. So I'm going to go over here in this side panel. This is where my layers are, and I've got my layer directly over my border. See where it says down here, page border? I'm going to right-click on this, and I'm going to say Clipping Mask. And now, look, I have a Halloween border. Isn't that cute? This is a great idea to use for stationery, for your journals, for your workbooks, your printables, anything you want to do for any holiday. It doesn't have to be just Halloween. Any kind of paper that you want to use there works great. And any type of border that you have a PNG, you can put an image on top of it. So if you don't like, if you say, well, I don't like the way that that fell on there, double click on this, and you can move your paper around until you get just the perfect place for it. Oh, I like it with those little pumpkins there, or you can keep moving it. You can try like, oh, there's some pumpkins. You can keep moving it around. Oh, I like those. So I'd probably stick with that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to say File, Export as PNG, and it's going to say, yes, that is the correct, that's 8.5 by 11, and you're going to save it. Now, I'm saving mine here, and you can see some of them have already been trimmed because they're just a narrow border. This one looks like a full page, so I'm going to call this one 34, and I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to show you whenever you're selling borders like this or using them, you don't want the whole page. You want something that's just that narrow border. So I'm going to go to I Love IMG. It's free too. Select images. I'm going to go over here, and 34 is the one I just loaded. And now I can just move this up, and I'm going to make sure that the whole border is covered. And then I'm going to go up here until I get that. See, I get that arrow, and I'm going to move it over here. I'm going to get as close to the scallop as I can, and I'm going to say crop image. And then I'm going to download it. Now, when I download it, it's going to want to be something else. It's like 34:1, and I'm just going to do that and say, yes, I know, cover it up. I hope this was helpful. You're going to start making holiday borders or just plain old borders for every single thing you do. Create some fun stationery, some fun pages. You can put them on both sides. You can put them on the top and the bottom. You can have all kinds of fun with these, but it really opens the door to different kinds of designs. Until next time, keep creating.